I'm Bobby.
And I'm Sarah.
And this is BS with Bobby and Sarah.
Welcome to episode 3.
Sarah, this week BS is going to stand for boarding school.
Boarding school. Ooh.
Boarding school. Tip, tip. Pop,
so far
pop,
away.
Pop, pip, pip. We're gonna,
Sending you off.
We're going to teach you to drink tea with your pinky up. Right? It's very posh.
That's how they do it in boarding school.
I'm also going to teach you how to tie a Windsor knot in your necktie. And then which dessert fork not to scratch your ass with.
There's a scratching ass fork?
Of course not.
I was going to say probably neither. But none of the forks.
Speaking of ass, stay tuned for episode 69 when Sarah regales us about the big old BS.
Which one?
Butt sex.
That will be totally appropriate. Making a note right now.
And then episode 420 when BS is going to stand for bud smoking.
Bud smoking.
Bud, not butt.
Of course.
Oh, I thought you said butt smoking.
Like, no, I might have said butt smoking just because it's all on my mind, but... Butt. I meant bud smoking.
Stay tuned. We've got a while to get there.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to really write that down.
I know, but I like it. I like taking notes. Otherwise, I feel like the pen and paper are pointless in front of me.
What are some other numbers that have...
Like a weird meaning?
Yeah.
666.
Oh, okay. And then what is that going to stand for with the devil? Something savior.
Oh.
Beloved savior.
Or something.
Rescue us from this devilish 666.
Behold Satan.
Yes. And then stay tuned for probably our final episode, 666.
Because it's going to come for us.
Behold Satan. Okay, we're not actually going to teach you anything about boarding school, but today before we delve into some topics,
yeah,
I can preview what the game is going to be.
Oh,
so
yeah. Tell me what I should I almost said suspect. I mean, expect.
What you can expect. So I studied zoology in college.
Yes.
Animal groupings have very strange and interesting names. You know, like a pack of hyenas or a murder of crows.
Oh, yeah. I love learning those group names.
Well, in this week's game, you're going to have to choose which animal belongs to which animal grouping.
I am so excited for this. You have no idea.
Stay tuned for that.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Cool. Cool.
Well, it's going to be hard to edit out.
Yeah. Who's with us today in the studio? Can you see them over there? In their thing? Forgot the name of that one dude.
The editor is Harold.
Harold.
But today we have Calvin.
Calvin. Oh, Calvin.
Calvin Klein. My underwears.
No wonder it's going to be shitty. Sup, Calvin? I don't know.
Don't call his name too loudly. He might get up and...
Oh, that's right.
He's an old man. Leave.
Oh.
You're supposed to let dying logs lie.
Oh, no.
Dying logs?
Dying logs. You called him a log.
I messed up every single word in that saying. It's let sleeping dogs lie.
I want your version on a bumper sticker.
I don't even remember what I said. Let dying logs...
Die or lie.
Let dying logs die. Oh my goodness. This week where we're recording... This week where we are recording, it was a 25-mile one-way journey for me.
Ooh,
and probably further for you.
Again, I forget to look at the mileage.
That's true. You do times.
It was like 47 minutes.
But a 50-mile round trip, that's almost a road trip.
Ooh.
I mean, sometimes that's just normal people's daily commute to work, but...
Sorry for them.
I mean, so I've had to do it before, and it sucks. Whether it's an hour or like 25 miles just to get to work.
Yeah.
But it's so different up here, it almost feels like a road trip. So today I wanted to talk about road trips that you've done, that you want to do.
I've got things to say about road trips. I've got some stories.
Like what? Did you ever shit your pants in a road trip? Because that's the stuff people
have I?
For. I can't believe you.
Not necessarily like...
I can't believe that's your thought process. I have a very clear and vivid response to that. And I said, no. And you're like, have I? Well, that one time
I'm trying to think it was, if it was on a road trip.
Close, but it doesn't count.
Yeah, I've come close. I mean, some of our road trips have been like 3-day road trips to Mexico. So from Chicago to the middle of Mexico, oof, you want to make good time. So you can't be stopping every 3 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
Because it'd be 4 of us. It'd be my parents and my sister and myself. And you have to kind of like sync up. Otherwise, that's too many stops.
Sink your bladders. Yeah, I get that.
Yep.
I get that.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, there's not an exit when you want it. So it's happened where it's been very close.
Was it like in the middle of bumfuck Texas?
Usually around Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky. Not even that far into your journey.
Yeah, we started off real good.
If you ever write a memoir, one book chapter title could be "Shit My Pants in Paducah, Kentucky."
Paducah, is that an actual place?
Yeah.
You would know this. You get around more often.
Hey.
What?
Don't slut shame.
I didn't mean that way. I meant like geographically.
I know. Of course you didn't mean it that
You
way.
look at maps way more than I
not
do.
true. And it's just a fun place to say.
Pantuca.
Paducah.
Paducah.
Pantuca. Pantuca. That's in Oklahoma.
See, you know things like that.
No, I'm making it up. This is called BS. Get with it.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so Panduca is in Oklahoma. Pantuca! Damn it!
Panduki is what you almost did on the side of the road.
I almost did a Panduki in Pantuca.
I do remember when my family would take vacations down to Florida, we'd always stop halfway in a town called Kimball, Tennessee. It was a nice little small place, but that sticks in my mind because when I was a young teenager is when we would take those trips, and my first job at the animal hospital, I worked with a woman whose name was Kim Ball, and it blew my young, undeveloped, dumbass mind.
This is the most interesting thing ever.
This is the most interesting thing that's ever happened to me. Kimball, Tennessee.
I feel like most road trips in the moment sometimes feel like a little sucky.
There's always they always get to that point.
Yeah.
Like, just let us get to our fucking.
Yes, exactly. But then like later on, it's like, oh, that was really good. It's like almost like those hard parts make it a little bit worthy and more memorable.
And it also depends where you're going through. Like twice I've taken a road trip from Chicago to San Diego.
Okay.
And one time was
far.
A higher, like the northern version when you drive through, I don't know,
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
And then the other one is the southern version that went through Arkansas, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona. Both routes, there's not much to see for a long time.
Yeah.
Then you get 80 mile per hour highways in Texas. That's always fun because there's nothing fucking to see. So you just gotta zoom through there.
Yes, lead foot.
Lead foot. I
love having a lead foot.
Speaking of Nebraska, in college I once took a road trip and a spring break to Lincoln, Nebraska.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And whenever I think of Nebraska or Lincoln, Nebraska, I envision the bird head that you found and you took a picture of.
Yes.
You posted it somewhere because it's just like, okay, it's just the head of a bird.
I went to the state capitol. It's the only U.S. state which has a unicameral house, which means they don't...
Back the train up. Oh, uni what?
It's called unicameral.
What the heck is that?
I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, more.
Unicameral means one, so there's only one house in their parliament.
Oh.
Wait, parliament's like a British thing. Fuck if I know.
So it's got to do with government.
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Lincoln, Nebraska is unique. They have a unicameral house or government.
Okay.
Probably cut that out.
Leave it in.
I went to the state capitol, and I went to the observation deck, and sitting there, like on bright red tiles, was just a bird head.
It's so weird.
It was so weird. There was no blood. It was a clean cut. It was probably fresh because it wasn't rotting. There were no
worms coming out of its eye.
No, definitely no worms up there. But the reason I went to Lincoln, Nebraska in the first place was because going out to school, I was already in rural Illinois.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going anywhere exotic. So I thought, I'll just go somewhere in the area. And Omaha, Nebraska was close by. But then I just moved on to like Lincoln because it was the state capital, like not even an hour further, and probably had more stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised when you came back with like pictures and, the story of your trip. And I was like, yay, that actually doesn't sound too boring. You think like Nebraska, anything in Nebraska would be like, what?
I mean, you got to make the best of bad situations. Not that it was bad. Sorry, Lincolnites. But the better road trips I had were the ones to San Diego. Once with my college roommate, Joe.
Oh.
His sister was moving out there, so we accompanied her.
I vaguely remember this.
Yeah, we stopped in Vegas when we were 18,
Whoa.
which was...
Oh my gosh, that's so young.
That was probably the last time I was
Bobby.
there. We stayed in the Paris hotel.
Ooh.
Like, blew my mind how ornate everything was, and they had actual Parisian street down in the basement.
I need to go to Vegas. I want to see this.
And then, because we were 18, we had to stand like 15 feet away from all the tables. Like, couldn't stand on the carpet around the gambling.
Oh wait, really?
Because we were underage.
Wow, I'm surprised they even let you in let you into the hotel. Oh, but it's because they have the casinos in the hotels.
Yeah, I think you have to walk through roulette and pai gow tables, walk through craps tables and slots just to get to the front desk of a hotel.
Have a lot of like security to make sure that all the youngins aren't going in there sneaking in.
There's probably at least 6 cameras on every single table. The second time I went to San Diego, my friend Jenny was moving there. We took the southern route. So the first place we stopped in was Arkansas, called Crater of Diamonds State Park.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
It's the only place in America where you pay like $5 or $10 to enter. You can dig in the ground, and any legit diamond you find
Whoa.
is yours to keep.
That's so cool. Did you finally like good decent size? Are they all like teeny bitty little like
Well,
dust?
most people don't find it. Do you think I would be recording this podcast if I found like a fat ass rock? There are stories of people every few years finding like an 8-carat diamond. I think one time a 20-carat diamond was
No
found.
way. Wow.
I mean,
those lucky...
clearly it's just
in the raw, like not
in
cut,
the raw.
right?
Yeah, once you cut it, you might lose half of that carat. But
That's true.
Still, you pay $5 or $10 to gain entrance, and then you might end up with a $300,000 stone.
Yeah, and actually I've seen some like because I do Pinterest sometimes just when I'm bored, and I look at some of the jewelry, and I came across an engagement ring that had a raw diamond on there, and it was actually kind of pretty.
Oh,
I enjoyed it. I was like, that is pretty cool. I think I like the fact that it's raw a little bit more than actual what it looks like,
But then you have to tell everyone it's a diamond because they don't look like the diamonds we're used
No,
to.
not at all. They're very like opaque, kind of like etched glass.
Yeah. So people are looking at her ring and be like, oh, fuck, her husband was cheap as hell.
It's not a plastic bead.
It's a plastic bead from Hobby Lobby. And you're like, no, this is a 4-carat diamond in the raw.
See, but I'm okay with like wearing things like whether it's jewelry or clothes or whatever where I know the story but no one else necessarily needs to know it. I mean, it'd be and then it's actually a little bit more special too when someone recognizes and they're like, oh my gosh, is that a raw diamond? How cool is that? Like, be like, yeah, only you and I know now or something.
It's also a good way to live that you don't care what people say about you.
Yes, it doesn't apply to every aspect of my life, but yes.
You're like, yeah, this is my fucking rock. I love it, so I don't care what you have to say.
Exactly.
This stingy-nosed boarding school child.
Shh. Yeah.
I would recommend everyone go to Crater of Diamond State Park in, I believe, Murfreesboro, Arkansas.
Ooh.
Is really fucking
I've
cool.
heard of that.
I mean, granted, you're going to dig in dirt for however long you want that day and not find anything.
Yeah.
You'll find little bits of gypsum, and then there's people at the front desk. They'll be like, oh, this is jasper. Oh, this is gypsum.
Ooh.
Oh, that's just quartz. And you're like, thank you, but also, fuck you. For dashing my dreams.
Yeah.
My diamond dreams. Is a lot of
I
fun,
like quartz, though. And I think I've seen the gypsum, or was it the jasmine? What'd you call it? That J one. Jasper.
So that was a really fun road trip because after that, then we went to Carlsbad Cavern, New Mexico. Just a giant cave.
Okay.
I was not prepared. I mean, you're underground. Caves are fucking cold. I was in a t-shirt and shorts.
That's right.
Freezing my ass off because at the surface, it was, 90 degrees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Down below, it was down to like 60 and 50. And then you're in this...
Oh, nice.
Amazing cavern. It was massive. I loved it. It almost made me want to move down there and work for the National Park Service.
That would be a really cool job.
I would like that.
And in a cave. Did you like shout things? Did you hear an echo?
No, because I'm respectful.
Oh, Bobby.
I know what an echo sounds like. I don't need to disturb the stalactites and stalagmites. With my booming voice, they'd probably just fall to the ground, weaken their knees.
It'd be like a little sonic boom to them.
Exactly. Very booming. And then not even an hour away was White Sands National Monument, which is just this huge space also in New Mexico, just pure white sand.
Just randomly?
Huge mounds of white sand. I don't know the geologic formation that produced those sands.
Yeah.
But it was so otherworldly because you're just driving through and there's no bugs. You don't hear any birds. You don't hear anything except the wind. And then you're in this alien place where it's just pure white, huge mounds. People like go sliding down them.
Yeah.
Because they're that enormous.
Whoa.
I loved it.
Is this where like some music videos have been filmed where you see them? There's like in the middle of nowhere.
Those are probably the Bonneville Salt Flats in California.
Oh, okay.
Because
it's usually very flat. So these hills you're talking about are very hilly. Like there's not a lot of space in the middle.
Well, there's enough space. You can you're driving your car through it.
Whoa.
It's a huge, vast area. Definitely huge, massive mounds of white sand. And then we got to San Diego, and I think the first hotel we stayed in before she found her housing, I think I found a bed bug. It was back when bed bugs were a huge scare in hotels.
Yes, yeah.
And she was very worried about it.
Because that shit's gross.
And I knew where to check, and I looked, and I think I even found one in like the fold of the mattress. And so I put it in a cup, and I brought it down to the front desk, and I don't think they could have cared less.
Oh,
I could not have cared less.
That sucks. I've had a gross room experience too in a hotel.
On a road trip?
Yeah, it was on a road trip.
Perfect. Tying right back into it.
I was driving back from Tennessee. I went
Kimball, Tennessee.
No, Nashville.
Tying right back into it. Okay.
Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah, I'm basic like that.
Yeah.
I went to visit a friend though. I wasn't there for like the Broadway thing. Although we did go because it was awesome. My God, live music everywhere and everything is so good. It's amazing if you're going there to hear stuff.
If you like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
As we know, I do not like
No,
live
you
music.
don't enjoy live music.
Nashville.
It's so bizarre.
Oh my God. Just those fucking hippies and country music star wannabes.
No, that's the thing. I thought it was going to be all
artists.
country music, but it's not. You've got rock, you've got classic, you've got like folk, bunch of shit. And it's really, really good too. So anyway, I was driving back and I was maybe like 3 hours away, but I was just like, I was so tired that I knew I had to stop somewhere, and I'm like, you know what, I can use the shower and a free breakfast in the morning. Well, free, but anyway. So when I pull the covers back, it was very obvious that they hadn't even that someone had slept there, and they didn't even scoop out the body crumbs, and they had just made the bed on top of someone being stayed there. So I took pictures and I went down to the front desk and they just gave me sheets to change it myself.
I think you need to put this hotel on blast. What was their name?
It was nope.
Okay, sorry. Edit that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember which one it was.
Note to podcast listeners, Bobby just edited out a portion because Sarah was trying to take down the wrong company.
Yeah.
She's trying to put the wrong company on blast.
Yeah, and it was not. I remembered that the wrong one was because my dad made a joke once that applied to that. But anyway, I'm going to leave you out of the joke. So that hotel was the Red Roof Inn. And they're usually pretty good. I think they're pretty decent.
I don't know if I've ever stayed in one.
But
I hardly see them anymore. Maybe that's why.
Maybe.
With customer service like that, Red Roof Inn.
Yeah. They didn't say anything. They were just like, okay, would you like some clean sheets? I'm like, well, yeah.
The Red Roof Inn in Paducah, Kentucky.
So yeah, I went there, changed the sheets, and then I still kind of felt really weird. I slept on the flat one, and I just brought my own blankets from the car.
You slept on the flat one? Shouldn't all sheets be flat?
I put the hood. What's the sheet called? The fitted sheet.
Oh.
And then the flat one, and I slept on top of that one, and then used my own blankets.
Okay, is a flat sheet an actual thing? Because you keep saying the flat sheet.
You don't know the names of the parts of your bed coverage dressings?
No, I know. I got that thing and that other thing, and when I'm cold, I put on that thing.
The other one thing and another thing. So the squishy puffy thing, that's a pillow.
Yeah, okay.
And you put a pillowcase on that.
Why? Why bother?
I don't know, drool. So then there's the part with the stretchy things, like a little cups.
Sheet, yes.
That's a fitted sheet. And then the other part that just goes, it's just like a big old rectangle.
Big old flat square is the flat
That's
sheet.
the flat sheet, yes.
Wow.
I was left at a gas station in Mexico once on one of these road trips.
How old were you?
It
was last year.
No, I was somewhere between like teen, early 20s.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't. You weren't like a 6-year-old.
No, I was not. No, and it's a good thing. So yeah, we stopped at this big rest stop. It was one of the biggest ones we've ever stopped at.
¿Dónde está mi mamá?
Mama. And they had like the bathrooms, and this was in Mexico, so it's not like your typical rest stop where it's like a building and then you have your bathrooms and like vending machines and stuff like that. This was a bit, you like pull up to this curb and then there's like a little row of stores, and then you have one with like where the bathrooms are. So the people waiting can like shop, postcards and things like that. And I came out and the van was gone. I'm like, oh, okay. So I was like, okay, maybe they just like went to turn around, or to point in the right direction. I don't know. My brain's making assumptions of why they had left. Why they would leave me there.
And it was, at this time, it was just, once again, a trip of the 4 of you?
Yeah, this was still just like back when...
God, it's not a case of Home Alone where they had 15 kids to count.
Nope, exactly. Oh, okay. So I thought it was a very purposeful thing that they did. Like, oh, Sarah's still in the bathroom. We'll have plenty of time to just turn the van around or go get gas or something.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, my mom always taught me, you have to stay where you are if you're lost.
That's smart. That's a PSA.
And then the second thing, don't panic. Or at least don't appear like you're panicking, because then that's when people approach you and might take advantage. So I'm like, okay, they're not here. All right, cool. I'm just gonna go take a look at these postcards and this big stand and twirl them around.
I did need new sunglasses and a wide brimmed hat.
Yeah, who can I take this keychain to? So then it was still a while, and it brings me back now to that episode in Arrested Development where they find Anne just sitting on a bench, because eventually that's what I had to do because they were taking a while.
And they were in Mexico in that
Arrested
Development
exactly. Way to plant, Anne. Oh,
and this was pre-cell phone.
This was pre-cell phones.
Had to have been.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I must have been in middle school, like maybe late middle school.
Or maybe you didn't
we
get
were
the
young.
international plan. And you were in Mexico.
No, because this was when we had like one of those Astro vans.
Oh, hell yeah.
So yeah, it was awesome because we would lay down the seat in the back, and Carla and I would just lay there and watch movies the whole time. We'd have like this little contraption thing back when DVDs were still cool. Mm-hmm. So we did that, and it was actually really fun. It was such a fun road trip. We loved when we would drive to Mexico.
That's the nostalgia of road trips.
Yep, some really great memories. So then Carla later tells me, the story of it. And like she got in the car, and then my dad just pulled off. He pulled away and started driving. And the Carla was just like, sitting in the back, just like, okay. She also was thinking we're probably just turning around or going to get gas. And then she's like, but then they weren't saying anything, and they just kept going. And at some point, she goes, aren't we going to wait for Sarah?
Because you're 16 miles down the road.
She says that my dad just like slammed on the brakes, made like a U-turn. What is it called? Like, no, in Spanish they say vuelta de bandido, like a bandit. That's like a robber. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's like, he just swiveled the car around like as fast as he could to do a U-turn, and came back. And I don't know exactly what else she remembers from that part, but I just remember seeing the van in the distance and just breathing a huge sigh of relief that I wasn't going to have to like figure out how to live in Mexico by myself.
Wow.
Or why they would do this to me. Like, oh my gosh, that's making me think of now, like, oh my God, what are the people that actually do that to their kids or to other humans? Yeah. Because I've heard of it done to like adults, like when they're too old or they can't take care of them anymore and they just leave them somewhere.
That's some bullshit.
That is some bullshit.
Although
terrifying.
I do feel like if I ever get to that point,
you want to be left somewhere, or
just leave me in like some forest up in Yukon, Canada.
Ooh,
so the elements can take me.
Yeah, at least it'd be a pretty...
So I'm not a burden.
Way to go.
Well, it would probably be horrible. I'd starve and freeze to death.
But you'd have a great view.
That's true.
So yeah, that took a turn. But yes, that was hilarious. Like later.
Oh yeah. How was the rest of the trip?
The rest of the trip was awesome.
Did you get everything you wanted, or else you could bring up, like, oh, I want pizza tonight, or else I might cry because don't forget you left me at the bathroom. Left me at the bathrooms.
That might have been the night that like we got somewhere and we had conchas. There was this bakery that was still open, and that's what we got for dinner. With some conchas.
Speaking of some Mexican food, I had Venezuelan this past week.
Okay.
Not much to report. I mean, it's meat, beans, and rice. But
you are welcome.
Sorry, I didn't mean to offend all the Latinos in their natural dish. There's a Costa Rican place that I've frequented, and I fucking love it.
Okay.
So,
is it also just beans, meat, and rice?
I think so. So it's all how they're prepared. And
it's all in the seasoning.
Plantains, which made me think, and you're Mexican.
I am.
Why don't Mexicans fuck with plantains?
I don't know.
Are y'all the only Latinos, or I should say Hispanics, because I don't know what do Spaniards eat plantains? You're the only...
I think so. I think they do have some recipes with plantains.
Then Mexicans are the only Latinos that don't really use plantains?
Yeah, I think whoa. Like, I really realized that.
Revelation.
At least in my family, and then the families that we've like gone to parties and stuff, I've never seen a dish. It was like, well, look, this is the plantain one. Nope. And they're good. They're delicious when I've had it in like, with Cuban families and stuff like that. They're wonderful. I love it. Colombians.
I don't really care for them, so I don't mind. I don't really care.
Oh,
plantains,
the plantains. Okay. I totally thought that's what you meant. Wow. See the look I gave you? I was like, oh, the audacity.
I thought you were offended that I didn't like tiny bananas.
What do you mean tiny bananas?
That's what plantains...
No, they're the big, huge, honking ones.
Oh.
They're gigantic.
What are the tiny ones then?
The little bananas.
I don't care for them. You know what? I don't even like normal-sized bananas, which I think are called Cavendish.
They're called Cavendish?
I think that is the type of banana. And I only know that because there is...
You mean regular bananas? They're real, like their science-y name is called Cavendish?
No, like a normal banana. Like, there's a Gala or a Fuji type of apple.
Yeah.
Just a Cavendish banana.
Oh, I didn't know they had their own names. Well, that's so cool.
And there's a Mark Cavendish who's like a British bicyclist who rides in the Tour de France. That's the only reason I remember what a Cavendish banana is called, because this guy's last name is basically banana.
How perfect would it be if his bike was the kind with the banana seat?
Oh, that would be perfect. And bright yellow.
Yeah. In Spanish, we call them plátanos machos, which is kind of like a...
Macho banana. Which would go with your theory that they're the larger ones, and I'm an idiot. And forever I thought they were tiny bananas.
Well, I mean, because when you have them, they're usually sliced like in that kind of like diagonal.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pretty big. They're like that big. Partially it's because they're on that diagonal. But even if they did it that way, maybe be like around. Yeah, they're big.
Yeah, our listeners can see.
I know. They can see this. Hey, look over here.
She's doing an oval, an oblong oval with her fingers.
Mm-hmm. And about 2 inches apart. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that's plantains.
One hefty banana.
I'm a fan of them. I do enjoy them.
I'm just not a big banana fan. And then I believe it's the texture, because when you're chewing, but it's so mushy.
Yeah, and it gets like that goopy kind of mushy, not just like applesauce mushy.
And I hate hearing people eat bananas because chewing is like their teeth are chomping, but it's because they're trying to mush up the banana, but the mush is so easily squished through your teeth, you're like, and I can't stand it. So do you have anything more about road trips?
I do. I've moved to Colorado twice and obviously drove out there. And so we drove my car there, and my parents helped me also move a bunch of stuff. My point was that we went through Nebraska, and it is so boring when you're just like driving through and you're not actually going to any little cute towns.
Well, even the cute towns are pretty boring. It's Nebraska.
Nebraska. So yeah, I remember falling asleep because
You weren't driving, were you?
no.
Okay.
No, that time I think we all went. We also kind of like did it as a vacation. So, and I fell asleep in the back, and all of a sudden I woke up and we're still going through, just plain old highway and nothing around us. And then we went through this little place where you can see like kind of farther in. There were like houses and they had like weird fences, like kind of like really cheap fences. All of a sudden I see a camel in someone's backyard. Hell? A camel. And I know I wasn't dreaming because my sister saw it as well. So it was like a yard with a donkey and a camel.
All right, best buds.
And it was just the weirdest thing.
It's the next Pixar movie, a donkey and a camel as best friends in just rural Nebraska.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, well, I guess Nebraska's not that boring.
They're doing.
I need to know the story behind that.
They were doing their best to keep Nebraska weird.
Yes, they were. Like, were they some sort of shelter or rescue place?
Do you know there's two types of camels? A
yes.
2-hump and a 1-hump.
I do. And do you know why?
I don't know why, but I know how to tell the difference.
One of them has two?
You're right. In my head, I was thinking about how to tell them apart because of their name.
Okay. Which is?
Dromedary.
Whoa.
That's the one that has 1 hump because a D has just 1 bulge.
Okay.
Then the other one is a Bactrian. Perfect. With 2 humps.
2 humps.
Which is perfect when it works out like that.
I know how to tell them apart as well. So you know how that's where they store their water, supposedly, in the humps?
In the fatty cells in their humps, yeah. Mm-hmm. They're lovely lady lumps.
My humps. So the one with the 1 hump, that's for short trips. The one with the 2 humps is for when you want to get across the desert a little longer.
Or Nebraska.
Or Nebraska.
Do you remember if he was a 1-hump or a 2-humper?
No, I don't remember.
You were probably in a state of shock.
I was, that there was a freaking camel. And I'm like, am I sure that that's what I'm seeing? And it was a camel. But anyway, that long trip, short trip thing, that was a joke my dad said when he went to Jerusalem. They've been there. So he came back with that joke. So I don't know if he learned it or if it just happened because they were able to like get on a camel and take pictures and stuff like that. And I thought it was really funny. And my sister just never laughs at those kind of jokes. I guess they're dad jokes and I find them hilarious. My favorite dad joke of my dad's that I think he like legit made up on the spot. We were in a wave pool at Noah's Ark. I had a legit question because I saw everyone like sitting on their little tubes and stuff. And it reminded me of how I've seen scuba divers. They'll like be on the boats. They sit on the edge and then they like go in backwards. And I'm like, Dad, why do they do that? Like I was like a curious little girl. And then fall back,
yeah, and he's first.
Exactly. And he doesn't even stop to think. He's like, because if they go forward, they'll fall in the boat. I laughed, I think, the rest of the day. And Carla was looking at me like, you're so crazy. Why are you laughing at that? It's true. If they fall forward, it's like, it's not funny to me.
And you're like, yeah, it's funny because it's true.
Exactly. And the fact that my dad would say that as a reason.
Speaking of camels in Nebraska, do you know what a group of camels is called?
No, I don't think I've ever
That's
seen them in a
because it's time
group.
for game time.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, game time.
Okay, I'm excited.
This week's game is going to be, what is this group of animals called?
Okay. All right. Oh, I just remembered. Yes, caravan, because in Aladdin, where the caravan camels roam. Yeah.
See? Perfect.
Oh my goodness.
No other Disney movies are going to help you with the list I'm about to give you. I'm going to give you the animal and then list 3 different collective nouns. You have to tell me which one is the correct term for the groupings of this animals.
Okay. All right. So I have to guess which one is the correct one. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
And
oh boy.
Only one is correct, and then the other 2 are just words I came up with.
Oh, hot damn. So, and as we learned from that IKEA one.
Episode 1, she had to guess IKEA furniture or a Scandinavian author. Mm-hmm. It was a shit show for her. So this is going to be awesome.
That was BS. This is probably going to be BS too.
I have 7 of them, and I would say to win, you got to get at least 4.
Okay,
right?
That's fair.
Over
that sounds
40%.
Fair. Okay.
Right now, as it stands, we each have 1 point.
Why?
I won episode 1.
You
won episode 2. This is going to be a running thing throughout the entire show.
Oh, snap.
Are you ready?
Hold on. All right, downloading information from my brain. opening files. And good, I'm ready.
That took longer than I expected, actually.
Well, Bobby.
I'm an asshole. All right, the first one is zebras.
Okay.
Is it a glitter, a dazzle, or a brightness of zebras?
Jesus.
Which is the correct word to describe a group of zebras?
A glitter, a dazzle,
Or a brightness.
brightness. I'm going to say a glitter?
It's actually a dazzle.
Son of a bitch!
Sorry about that.
Oh my god. All right. So a dazzle of zebras.
Yeah, isn't that very interesting?
Well, it's not dazzling, that's for sure.
The next one, vultures.
Okay.
Is it a committee, a flightness, or a basket?
A basket of vultures. Basket, committee,
Or a flightness?
or flightness. Flightness.
It is a committee of vultures.
Stop it! Bobby, no! They're all sitting around in their little office chairs.
It only gets more insane from here.
Oh no, okay, alright. So 0. I've got 0 so far, right?
Yeah, you're 0 for 2, but
Oh, good God, okay.
let's continue on. A group of butterflies is called what? A kaleidoscope, a mourning, mourning,
Okay.
like sadness. A kaleidoscope, a mourning, or a theater?
I'm gonna go with the more ridiculous one, which is a morning.
It's actually kaleidoscope.
No!
A group of butterflies is called a kaleidoscope.
That one was like the total obvious one because they're pretty and they're fluttering around. You get all these colors and shapes. Oh, man. So I can't get any more wrong to win.
That is correct.
Oh, my goodness.
Maybe if
This
you
is the worst.
I know. Maybe if you talk out your thought process more,
Okay,
that
okay.
might lead you.
All right.
If you had
I
said
can
that
do that.
before you'd chosen, maybe you would have chosen a kaleidoscope.
All right.
This next one, ferrets.
Ferrets. Oh, okay.
A group of ferrets. They called a butler,
ferrets.
a quarrel, or a busyness.
A busyness. Okay. Well, ferrets are very fast and busy. And then, so it's a busyness, a quarrel, or...
Quarrel.
Oh.
Fisticuffs,
Yeah, they...
quarrel. Or a butler.
Or a butler. I don't think it's a butler because that has nothing to do with what a ferret is.
I mean, does committee have anything to do with vultures?
Well, sometimes they stand around together, and the,
and zebras dazzle you.
That was my imitation of a zebra. Apparently, it's not correct.
No.
Okay, a quarrel. What was the other two?
A quarrel of ferrets, a butler of ferrets, or a busyness of ferrets?
I think they're busy. I've seen them just squirrel around. There's a busyness of ferrets.
It is a busyness.
Yes! Oh my goodness.
You're still in it.
Yes. Oh my god.
All right.
I'm excited now. I'm not totally bummed.
Number 5, eagles.
Okay.
Is a group of eagles called a parliament, a convocation, or a baldness?
I think it's the parliament. No? Do they go to the committees with the vultures?
Sorry, that was kind of tricky because a parliament is actually something, a grouping of animals.
Yeah.
It's just owls.
Oh no! Oh, I knew I'd heard that one before.
So it's a convocation.
It's a convocation. I didn't even know that was a real word. What is a convocation?
It's just a grouping of
a
eagles.
grouping of eagles. Okay then.
Some of these animals have multiple terms for
Okay.
the same grouping.
Okay.
But
Don't know
I
why they would
obviously
do that.
chose the most ridiculous one.
Yes, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So-
this is actually kind of fun. I mean, it sucks for me that I don't know any of these, but
You're
fun.
really bad at this, but I'm glad you're still having fun. That's what they tell the kids in Pee Wee soccer, right?
Yeah, I never did soccer.
2 more. Number 6, ravens.
Ravens.
Is it an exclamation, a livery, Livery, or an unkindness,
Okay. Unkindness, livery,
or
or
exclamation?
exclamation of ravens. I wonder if that has anything to do with like a murder of crows. Because they're pretty close enough birds, right? Oh my god. A livery, a kindness, or unkindness?
Unkindness.
Unkindness. And
Or
what
an
was that the other one?
Exclamation.
Exclamation. I think it's a livery.
It's actually an unkindness. So you were going there with like the murder of crows, the unkindness of ravens.
Oh, whoa.
You said that. Did you forget already?
I know, but I just didn't think about like the whole unkindness part of it.
Oh.
I thought it was like murder with... I don't even know what the hell I was thinking. All right.
Don't worry about it because you were thinking wrong anyway.
Yeah,
it's not a livery.
It's not a livery. It was
unkindness.
An unkindness of ravens. Okay.
Final one.
Yes.
You only have one so far. So
this is bullshit, Bobby.
Good. I'm glad. The last one, hippopotamuses.
Okay.
It's a group of hippopotamuses called a float, Float, a stoat, Stote, or a bloat. Bloat.
It cannot be bloat. It just cannot.
Float, stoat, or bloat.
I've seen them in the wild, and I think it's gonna be a float because they float.
It is actually a bloat.
You no. I call bullshit 100%.
There is a fantastic entire page on Wikipedia about animal collective nouns.
Okay, well, if you found this on Wikipedia, you know that people can change things to ridiculous stuff.
But there are footnotes. They cite their sources.
Oh, man. A bloat of hippopotamuses.
Sorry about it.
And how come it's not hippopotami?
I think there's an issue with hippopotamus might be Greek, but to pluralize something with an I is like Roman. I know that's why it's technically not octopi, because octopodus is Greek, but when you pluralize something, you don't pluralize Greek to an I.
Whoa, okay.
So I think it technically is hippopotamuses and octopuses. But do your own research, people.
Yeah.
I ain't your teacher.
You're paying our institution. Well, this game it was very, very informative.
You got 1 out of 7.
That is horrible.
So unfortunately you lose, but that does add another point to our running total. So 3 episodes in, Bobby's up 2-1.
Oh, Bobby's in the lead. I'm going to have to come up with something good next time. Squash your dreams.
We never even did our socials.
Our socials? Oh, our social media.
My social security number is 30. No, we have to give out our social medias. If you do want to write to us, our email is bswithbspodcast@gmail.com. Check us out on Twitter and Instagram, BS with BS Podcast.
Cool. BS with BS Podcast.
Hit us up if you have any questions, comments, concerns.
Or committees of, vultures.
Committees, convocations.
Caravans of...
No unkindnesses.
No, not welcome.
My fragile ego cannot stand it. Give us suggestions for what you want to hear us ramble on about.
Yeah, if you have any ideas for games, hit us up for those too.
Also, please let me know if you did better than 1 out of 7.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I would love to know if other people got them. I just noticed that you were like, what do you call it?
Genius.
No.
Handsome.
No.
Fit. Adonis.
Keep going.
No, you tell me. I prefer when other people tell me.
No, you're kind of mocking me there. I only got 1 right.
No, I'm not. I was not mocking you. I was only speaking the truth. Hey, this is just going to make you one up your game for next week.
Yeah, I'm going to have to sharpen them skills and look for some stuff that will stump you.
I look forward to it, and I hope our listeners do as well.
Yeah.
That's been another episode of BS with Bobby and Sarah. Thanks for joining us. One thing I noticed in the last episode, I kept on saying, see you later.
See you later.
This is all auditory. So
hear you later.
Hear you later. Thank you for joining us. We hope you come back next time. I'm Bobby.
And I'm Sarah.
Now that's been some bullshit.
I love when you say that.